Hey guys, welcome to an all-new review right here on ToyWorldOrder.com and YouTube.com/ToyWorldOrder. We're your host. I'm Devall. That's a Dave Draper.
Yay.
Yay. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the jersey's nice.
Thank you.
A little warm for the jersey, but who am I to judge?
I'm just wearing it for this review under the bright lights in our 80-degree Native American summer.
Weather. Hey, fall's coming. It's still 90 degrees. Hey,
August was nice, man.
Yeah, August was bad. Gang, we're back today with an all-new review. This time we're going to take a look at a Transformer that I think we both kind of been anticipating a little bit. I don't know if Dave was as much as I was, but...
Oh, the only reason I bought the thing is because somebody said, if you buy it, I'll actually do a review of it. And I was like, make him work.
That's true. Make me work for my fun.
I know.
Today we're taking a look at the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Omega Supreme. And kind of just like the second giant toy in a row we've looked at.
Well, you know, go big or go home.
That's true. Omega Supreme is one of those classic characters in the G1 Transformer saga. Of course, the vintage Omega Supreme, as seen here, is a little on the small side, but he was battery powered. You put the tank together with the track and he'd go around the track. Or, in robot mode, you turn the battery on and he'd walk. The new version is not battery powered, but it is actually way, way cooler than this vintage Omega Supreme here. And this vintage Omega Supreme will be back at a later date here with us. But for now, the War for Cybertron Omega Supreme box is brilliant. It's a gorgeous piece of artwork. Gorgeous artwork on the front. Little... On the top there, the Autobots there shining bright. The artwork kind of extends to the sides there, the side panels. And then, of course, the back shows you the toy, what you'll get, some of the different forms of the toy, his transformations and whatnot. So, 37 steps is what he transforms.
A mere 37 steps.
Mere 37 steps. And then pulling this little dude, I say little, not little, it's giant. Pulling said transformable out of said box. Help me out, David.
Okay.
You pull, I'll pull. Oh.
There's the instruction.
Birthing a giant.
There's the wall-hanging
poster. The wall-hanging poster of instructions. Instructions. And then, of course, Omega Supreme in all his glory. There in the box. Let's pull him out of all of his fasteners that Hasbro will not be using here going forward sooner than later, as they're doing away with all plastic in their packaging.
That's weird because they've been doing like those paper.
Yeah, these are not paper. These are plastic.
Well, they didn't want him going nowhere.
No, they did not. We're gonna take him out of the box and we'll be back to take a look at him. All right, with the Omega Supreme out of the box, you get to see this giant 2-foot tall Transformer. And just to give you an idea of scale with the other Titan class figures, here is good old Fort Max. And Fort Max is bigger, of course, but you can see that Mega Supreme scales up pretty dang big. I mean, he's a big Transformer. He's a big figure, so works out pretty good. I would like to think that he would be a little bigger than Fort Max, but
yeah, I would too.
But seeing as Fort Max is a city, it makes sense. So he also comes with the little Micromaster countdown, which is a nice little figure. We'll take a look at his transformation here shortly. But he also comes with all of these little effects blasts for like the rocket or for his guns. So he's got little holes like on the front of his claws that these can actually click into. And all of these are, like this whole blast effect is removable because you can add, we'll show you when you put the track together for the tank mode, you can add these like along the tracks as like, weapons, ricochets and stuff like that. So neat little thing from Hasbro there. Omega Supreme's articulation is pretty decent for a big Transformer. I mean, everything is ratcheted. So you can hear the ratchet joints inside of him. I mean, just about everything on here is a ratchet joint. Hips, the knees.
It's so pleasant to the ears.
Yes. Dave and I were discussing before we started filming our adventures with Trypticon, the fact that Trypticon's hips were severely fragile with the ratchets, and Dave was like, "Oh my God, you're gonna break it!" I never did though.
No, you didn't tell me the hips were fragile until after you filmed the review.
Yeah, until after I filmed it.
Which is why I asked specifically if you had heard anything about our friends, Mr. Supreme.
Gorgeous Titan Master figure though. I think Omega Supreme was one of those figures as a kid that I wanted and never had. Just one of those G1 formers that I just never got.
The robot mode was kind of cool, but I was never into his. I never got his alt mode. It never really made sense to me.
Here's the vintage Omega Supreme next to the current Omega Supreme.
Yeah.
My battery case didn't stay up all the way on him.
That's a common problem from your age.
What's interesting is they flipped the arms on the Hasbro version. So the original Hasbro version, his claw was on his left hand and the rocket was on the right. And this one, they've put the rocket on the left and the claw on the right. So they've kind of flipped it a little bit. I tried to get his... he's got a cannon, much like the vintage version does here. But I couldn't get the cannon out of the slot to film this part of it.
Very common in a man your age.
Yeah, it's a personal problem, I know. Thank you, David. Thank you. Again, we'll take a look closer at the vintage one with the new one here shortly. But I think it's a great figure. I think it's a great looking figure. We're gonna transform him off camera because I'm not about to do that on camera because there are other reviewers. If you want to watch how this thing's transformed, you can go watch them. We ain't doing it.
Okay.
Because we're gonna screw something up on camera.
All I ask is that you get him back to this before we're done.
Yes. So let's take a moment. Dave and I are going to transform him into tank mode with his tracks.
Dave and
I'm going to transform him into tank mode while Dave plays on his phone. And we'll be back shortly to take a look at that. Yeah. Oh, snap. Get off your phone. Get back. We're back. Come here. This thing is amazing. I like the robot mode way more than the alt mode. Of course, the alt mode here, you can roll the tank across the tracks. Because on the bottom he's got little rollers, so he can roll across there. He's also got, if you move the head of the tank up and pull the door open, you've got a little storage space in here to store Countdown. So Countdown can ride in there and then come out when he needs to be. So that's kind of a neat little...
I'm not sure why you put the moon buggy in the tank as opposed to the rocket ship.
Well, and that's the thing, is that there are a couple different things with the rocket ship too, where you can actually... where is it? You can actually open up the doors at the top of the rocket, and Countdown can stand in there.
Okay, there you go.
There's also spaces on the side here that pop open. Little spaces on the bottom here on the sides of the legs where Minicons can go, Micromasters can go. So you can put more figures in there and whatnot. It really is a nice representation of the vintage style Transformer. The transformation... not terrible. Dave did the rocket without any instructions. The rest of it, not bad. I mean,
now we'll get all these comments. You did it wrong.
You did it wrong.
The spline bit here is supposed to be aligned with the thing there.
But what's cool is, with the rocket, you can attach the big explosion, so it's firing. And the rocket is huge. This rocket is big. I mean, it doesn't even fit all the way in the frame because of the way I've got things framed up right now. But it is a large, once that piece, because this is a separate piece, so the arms come off the back of the robot, form into the rocket. The body, or the torso, of course, transforms into the tank, and then the rest of the body becomes the base. Kind of like the vintage one, kind of, sort of. I mean, it's a neat... it really is a neat Titan Master. I mean, it's something I know a lot of people have been waiting for. I remember seeing pictures of this thing and thinking, oh, that's really cool. I like the look of that a lot.
Have they ever done an Omega Supreme since the very first one?
They have, but it's never been this. Okay. It's always been a character named Omega Supreme.
Okay,
what
I meant was like a guy that at least in some way resembled the original one.
Yes, not that resembled the vintage one, no. It's very cool, though. It's very neat. I like, the little
you see the tank
rocket pads pop up there to show the missiles here that can, that you can pretend to fire out. And then, like I said, on the actual base of it, there are little holes throughout here that...
you think there'd be something...
The blast effects can plug in there, so it looks like things are being fired on it and things are ricocheting, and you can actually...
You think there'd be something on the bottom of the tank so it caught
So it would catch them better, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then of course with the tank you can put the little different size blast effects in there, so it looks like you've got some different options here.
Boom.
Yeah, boom indeed. Look at that. So I don't know how often they've done these, because Dave and I haven't kept up with Titan Masters like for this
Transformers,
stuff.
I don't know. I know they do it a lot with Marvel Legends.
Yeah, with Legends they do, but these little connectable blast effects, great use, a great idea, great usage of that. And of course you can have the little side tanks firing too.
Side guns.
The side guns, I should say. Side tanks. He is a tank.
It is a Transformer, so it's not inconceivable that he would have tanks that come off.
The little side guns can fire. So it's pretty cool. Let's
put him back the way he was.
Well, let's do a contrasting.
Oh yes, a contrastment. Now is the time for contrastment.
Now is the time for contrastment. Let's take a look at the
TM.
Do we trademark that? Let's take a look at the new one, and we'll take a look at the old one, and we'll take a look at them together. So let's take a look at that. All right. There you go. There's the vintage Omega Supreme with the modern Mega Supreme. And again, the only drawback is that he doesn't... Oh, look at the vintage one go. Oh, he got stuck. There he goes. Look at him go. Look at him go.
It's impressive.
But he doesn't have the oomph he used to. And my head doesn't swivel like he's supposed to anymore. Sad, but still gives you an idea of whereas Dave was commenting as I was tearing this one apart, the fact that this one gets torn apart completely, pretty much.
Yeah, it gets completely disassembled. That was weird.
Yeah, whereas this one just is 3 separate chunks that become the base. This one, everything becomes the base, pretty much, except for the tank. So it's a very interesting character. It's an interesting figure. I know that this wasn't. This was one of those oddball Transformers that wasn't a Takara. Like it was one of those weird. It was something else, and they kind of turned it into a Transformer. So it's very oddball kind of thing, but very very cool, very neat. I'm going to transform them back into robots, so you can take one more look at them together, and get an idea again of the scale. And then we'll see you guys out of here.
Yeah. Why, hello. I didn't see you come in. I was just finishing.
Well, there you go, guys. There's a look at the Titans Omega Supreme. Very cool Transformer. Very nice piece by Hasbro. Of course, my vintage one, I was trying to get him to walk, but I got to fix him because his legs apparently don't want to walk because he walks. And it's kind of dumb, but it's, Oh, what do you do, though? It's what vintage motorized toys do. They break down on you eventually, and then you got to fix them. But this one, with no motors, will not be breaking down on you anytime soon.
Will last forever.
Well, as long as plastic lasts, which...
Depends on the plastic.
Depends on the plastic. But I hope you guys enjoyed our look at Mega Supreme. He's a great piece. If you can find him out there, he's hitting stores now. I know he was available at Big Bad Toy Store. So you were able to find him there for a short time. He might still be available. He is hitting retail stores, probably Walmarts. I would imagine Targets, maybe. But Targets are crap, so you never know. But he's worth the money. I mean, I know Jetfire was like $80 when he came out, which was kind of expensive. And he's about $180.
I don't remember.
Almost $200, I think, for him. So not bad. Not a bad price for a figure this size. I remember Fort Max was quite expensive, too, when he came out. So very cool piece. If you're a Transformer fan, if you're a collector, this is one that you're going to want to find. So make sure you hunt him down. And
No. I'm almost there. Stay on target.
There will be no one seated during
Stay on target. $159.99.
$159.99, so $160.
In stock.
He is in stock right now as of this filming at Big Bag Toy Store. So make sure you pick one up. And there you go, gang. Our little look at Omega Supreme and Countdown. Which, again, I don't think I showed his transformation on screen, but his transformation was pretty easy. His legs fold out, his little satellite goes back, and his arms go down. And
That's Countdown.
That's Countdown. He's got a little peg, so he can be a weapon. He can be attached to other things, because that's how they did the Micro Masters, and this one was
you peg him good.
Yep. So very cool pieces from Hasbro. Thank you, Dave, for bringing these over to check out. And gang, until next time, David.
Keep playing with your toys.
Take care, guys. We'll see you next time. I wish he walked, but his light still lights up. That's a plus. Ha! No, fragile. No, bad David.
Yeah.
No, bad David. Taking my toy and leaving. Leaving my own basement.
Victory! Victory!